Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everybody, this is Randy Jones with eThink Education. We really appreciate you joining us today. Really large audience. The turnout's been great for this session. We're excited. I still see quite a few folks trickling in, so I'm going to stall for a few minutes and wait for everybody else to join us. While we do that, do me a favor and jump into the questions pane of the GoToWebinar control panel. Jump in there, say hi, let us know where you're from. Have you went to any great conferences this year that you think we should attend? Are you excited about any upcoming conferences? We've got DevLearn and Learning Technologies out in the UK on the books and quite a few others. But as we wait for your fellow colleagues from around the world to jump in there into the GoToWebinar control panel and say a quick hi for us. Yeah. We've got an audience really spanning the globe here today, John.
Great, Randy. Yeah, excited to see how many people tuned up. It was 300, I think, on registration, so looks like a popular topic.
Yeah, we see some US-based folks, Costa Rica, Africa. Some of my colleagues giving me a hard time about the zippy that I wear all the time here. That's fun. 18.
Is that a zippy? Is that what you call it, a zippy?
Yeah, I think one of our colleagues called it a zippy on day one, and it just sort of stuck. It just.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Michael headed out to DevLearn. We'd love to catch up with you there. We grab a coffee or anything else out in Las Vegas. We catch up out there for sure. South Africa.
Yeah, we're going to be there as well.
Yeah, I always look forward to that one. That's always a good session. All right, John, let's say maybe we give the audience another 30, 60 seconds to continue to trickle in here, and then we'll jump right in.
Sounds good. That question panel working okay, Randy? You can see people coming through there?
Yeah, it looks great. I appreciate everybody jumping in here and saying hello.
Right.
Coffee time in New Zealand, huh?
Coffee time.
I'm on the east coast of the U.S., so I'm on my second coffee time. I needed it in the morning, then I had lunch, and now I needed to get back revved up again here. That's a weakness.
It'll be good for you.
I think just to respect everybody's time, we've got a lot to cover today. I think we go ahead and jump right in here. So we appreciate everybody joining us for how to scale your training operation with an LMS and e-commerce. As John had mentioned here, as we were chatting here at the beginning, we have over 300 registrations for this event from all around the world. So I'm really excited about everybody joining us. My name's Randy Jones. I'm the VP of Sales at eThink Education, and we have John Mitchell, the CEO at Arlo. John, I really appreciate you. This is a great partnership for us, and I appreciate the time you spent here.
Yeah, thanks, Randy. Yeah, no, it's certainly great to be a partner of yourselves there. You've got a great reputation globally. Your awards that you've won with Totra and Moodle. No, a very excited partnership to be part of and kick it off with like this.
Yeah, all right. Well, we appreciate the efforts of your team in setting up this session for sure. Quick agenda and a little bit of housekeeping, just so everybody knows. You are on mute, so don't worry about any background noise. I think I hear some background noise on our end, though, someone who's in as a staff or presenter. So anyone on our end, if you can mute, I'd appreciate it. But anybody else in the audience, we can't hear you. So if you happen to have something going on, certainly don't worry about it. Our best sessions, and if you've been on an eThink partner webinar in the past, you probably know this, are our most interactive sessions. Use that questions pane. We'll try to answer your questions as they come in. If we don't get to them, we'll be sure to follow up for you. And as far as agenda, we're going to do a quick eThink and Arlo overview just to set the scene. We'll talk a little bit about the changes in the learning industry, the changes in the tech landscape, really then go through the toolkit to sell and deliver training. We've got a lot to cover today. We'll try to do so in a timely manner here. So eThink, we're the most widely used Moodle partner in the world. Moodle is the most popular LMS in the world. So we're the most widely used Moodle partner of the largest LMS, which is Moodle. And we provide the Totara LMS as well, which we'll talk through really briefly here moving forward. The one thing I'll say is a big differentiator for us that I think could help this audience is that our solution is what we call a fully managed solution, which simply means that we become the extension of your team responsible for your LMS. It's a really high touch service that we provide. And it's, again, fully managed, hosting, the implementation, the integrations, really A to Z. All right. Now that we've made some introductions, I'm going to go ahead and turn the webcam off, and we'll jump back on here at the end. And a quick pat on the back to our services team. I mentioned this is really what separates us. Our first response time to a support ticket has averaged under 40 minutes as of our last audit. This really separates our team here at eThink.
Yeah, thanks, Randy. So I'll just give you a very brief overview of Arlo. So we're in 70 countries, used in 70 countries. We've been doing it for a long time, over 10 years now. If you check out some of the software review sites, yeah, you'll see some really good reviews. The customers and users really love using Arlo, and some great reviews there. Much like Randy mentioned in eThink, we pride ourselves in customer service and have a really good satisfaction rating, which we also monitor on a regular basis. At any one time, we've got about 40,000 courses scheduled on Arlo running. And since we've started, we've done about $1 billion worth of transactions through our system. So in terms of the customers we've got on board, we've got lots of different customers, from really small customers to some high-profile customers like you can see here, the likes of Microsoft, Thomson Reuters, and PwC. So we're really proud to be able to bring on those large customers, but at the same time, be able to service those smaller organisations and mid-tier organisations as well. Like Randy did, I'm just going to turn off my webcam now, so we've got a bit more screen resolution, and let's jump straight into the first few slides. Right, so learning is changing. So over the last few years, we've really picked up on the changes of learning and talking to our customers. And one of the things that they've spoken mostly to us is how they're transforming their business from what was traditionally just classroom sessions. So running, say, half-day sessions, a full day or 2-day sessions, and turning those into blended. So what we're doing is taking a classroom session. Maybe the first thing is just making the resources that would normally be available in the classroom, putting them online, whether they're videos or documents, and making them available after the actual course. Not only that, but starting right at the start, just after they register, and sending them surveys about what they want to, what the outcomes or learning that they want out of the course. And what that does is it empowers the presenter or the trainer to be able to tailor the content in the course, so they can get to know the registrants, what they're wanting to achieve in the course, and tailor that content. Not only that, you're getting customers who want to do a bit of reading, watch a video, maybe do some online learning prior to the course, so they can come really geared up with a lot of background information about what they're going to learn, and get a lot more, I guess, value out of that course. On the other end of it, so they attend the course, they capture those that resources, the documents, and then I guess foster that collaboration, that discussion group. So learning is all about learning from one another. And that's a real transition too. So not just having that presenter with all the knowledge, but a lot of those people within the course themselves have a lot of knowledge. So you want to foster that and make sure that people are actually learning from one another, not just that one-way communication from the presenter. So discussion forums after the course can really help with that. Follow-up sessions, whether they're one-on-one coaching sessions, say a webinar like this, or maybe a collection of people, group of people getting together like we're doing right now. Again, reflecting on their learning, maybe discussing what they've learned, and sharing it with the team. Finally, assessments and assignments. So, you know, a lot of courses are based around compliance, having to achieve certain compliance to do their job at work maybe, and so building that into the whole course, but not making it solely done on the actual day of the course, the session of the course, but actually making it available to do it any time after online. And then finally, learning from one another. This is what I talked about, the discussion forums. So you can see here the pattern from what was just a traditional face-to-face session. You turned up, you learned what you could on that day, to a real blended learning experience where you're engaging multiple times along the process over a period of, say, a few weeks or even months. So what we're also seeing, another aspect of the changes in learning, is how course delivery is changing. So from public courses where people register, join other people in a public course, to private in-house courses. Now, I know a lot of training providers are already doing this, and I'm sure you'll find yourselves that there's a real growth in terms of private courses where traditionally an organisation may have 5 people they want to train. They'll send them to a public course. Now they're wanting you to basically tailor the course for those 5 people and come on site. So there's a real focus on delivering private in-house customised courses as opposed to sending people to public course programs. What's the next phase? Well, these are projects. So if you're, say, wanting to roll out agile development in your software business, instead of just sending a few people to a public course, maybe your devs or your QA team, the transformation of that is to do private sessions. Now what we're seeing from a project point of view is actually seeing that it's not just those people in the training, not just the devs and the QA staff that need to be trained, but it's a whole company-wide transition to an agile, in this case, an agile approach. And so that project is more than just a few sessions. It's actually training multiple people, from managers within the organisation right through to the people on the tools, as it were. What does that mean for training providers? Well, you're moving from a real transactional relationship where it's just a person registers for a course, they attend, and that's it, to a much more deeper relationship with your clients and with your customers. And what does that ultimately mean from a systems point of view? Well, on one side, on the left-hand side there, you still need those public courses. They're really good for brand awareness, for driving interest in your company and your courses. But what you need from a system on that side is really automation. You want to make sure that all the systems and processes are as efficient as possible and low touch. And low touch marketing as well. So, you know, public courses are all about making sure you've got the limited number or minimum number met, so it's viable to run. So making it really easy to identify prospects when you need, say, 1 or 2 more people just to make that public course viable. So low touch marketing, we call it. On the other side, on the right-hand side, you're wanting a system that allows you to manage those accounts. So manage the client relationships, manage leads that are coming for these private courses or leads for these big projects that you might be tendering for. And finally, you're wanting a system where your clients can log in and track their staff's learning. We call it a company portal, which we'll come to a little bit later. So the changes in learning. So we're coming from a one-off course to continuous learning, from face-to-face to blended, from standardized offering to really tailored and personal, customized offering, from learning from the presenter or the trainer to learning from one another, the community, and from public training to public, private, and projects. So what does this mean from a technical landscape, and what's the difference between an LMS and a TMS? Well, I've just pulled together a couple of slides here that really outline the high-level differences. So let's start with the first one. LMS are traditionally online learning, about delivering self-paced e-learning or online collaboration learning, whereas a TMS is more focused at that instructional-led or face-to-face training. An LMS is more learner-focused, about delivering the learning outcomes, while a person who's putting through or setting up a TMS is looking at productivity. How can we make the operation more efficient, more cost-conscious focus versus necessarily the learning outcomes focus. LMS on one side is looking at internal staff training, so rolling out training for an organisation, while a TMS is all about selling training. As a training provider, how can you sell more? An LMS is about assessments, so we talked about compliance before, being able to capture that compliance, track assessments and grading, whereas a TMS is all about transactions, sending out an invoice, managing transfers and cancellations and so forth. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a high-level background of the differences. In terms of the total solution, this is what we're going to really touch on today, is all the different elements of a really good solution for training providers. And we're going to touch on the LMS element and get into some detail. Randy's going to help us out in that respect. And we're going to talk about Moodle and Totra. We're going to talk about the e-learning services that you need in order to deliver a really good solution. So again, eThink's a really great partner there, and they're going to discuss what they offer. And then we're going to look at the TMS, the Arlo component, and all the pieces of the Arlo component. Okay, so let's first of all start off with a closer look at authoring tools. And so at this point, I'll hand it back to Randy. Can you control my mouse? Looks like you can.
Yeah, I believe so. Thanks, Sean. Yep. So thanks for teeing me up there. You're right. We're gonna jump into first here to talk a little bit about authoring tools. It's an important aspect of every learning environment. It's just the content that's going to be consumed by your learners, right? The content can be purchased off the shelf. Sometimes that's also called canned. And those courses typically apply to many different businesses. Maybe it's health and safety or leadership or HR related. It's something that every business could probably utilize as a course for their employees. Then the other option is utilizing bespoke or custom content. And bespoke content is typically created with an authoring tool. Some companies have in-house talent that can create those courses with the authoring tool, and others just hire consultants who just do that for a living every day. They provide and create different courses, usually utilizing an authoring tool. So these tools have really evolved. If you'd worked with them maybe 10 years ago and you work with them now, they're far more user-friendly and far more robust in their abilities. And a typical course created with an authoring tool might have a learner watch a video and then read a follow-up article and then complete an assessment, just answering questions on the material that they consumed, making sure they're paying good attention, being good students. And some common authoring tools used by eThink clients, I reached out to our services team and I asked, what are our clients currently utilizing? What's working for them? And there's Camtasia, which specializes in creating videos. I believe that's the tool that John's team at Arlo utilizes for those really cool videos they have on their website. And then there's Articulate. A lot of our clients use Articulate to convert PowerPoint into online self-paced modules with assessment. That's a popular one, especially for folks who have done training face-to-face in the past and are now working, let me get this link open, and are now working to try to bring that online. Yeah, John, if you could click that link for me. I think when I clicked, it brought me on to the next class. Or excuse me, the next slide. All right, perfect. So this is an actual example of Articulate, and you'll notice the course is laid out really user-friendly fashion. If I scroll up and down, it's really easy to consume, very easy to follow. There's a quick overview at the beginning. Let me get back up here to the welcome piece. You'll see there's a quick overview, telling the learners, hey, this is what we're going to consume, the type of content, welcome, what we learn, really setting the expectations. And there's some cool graphics. If you click here, it flips the grid, and you can move on and see what's behind those little graphics there. And then we get into the first piece. You'll notice there's some cool things here where I could come in and click these little hotspots. I think most folks refer to them as hotspots. And it brings up data, fact number 1, fact number 2. So that, we're keeping the learner engaged and involved here with this course. Now I'll go on to number 3 here, just as I scroll through my course so you can see what that course looks like. Notice on the left here, I'm tracking completion with these circles. So I haven't completed these. Obviously, I didn't go through all of them, but the user can see, like, okay, I'm done here, and maybe I'm not. And I'm going to go all the way down to assessment just for the sake of time, just like I did in high school. We won't read the full book. We'll get right down there to the end, start that quiz. Let's see if I click there, what we get. All right, and now I'm going to make sure as the learner that I did read, I did consume, I did understand pretty quickly and easily submit. So 50-50 chance I got it right. So that's just a quick idea of what a course can look like when created through an authoring tool. All right, now back to the slide deck. John, back to you.
Yeah, this is my one. So we're about to launch Arlo U, and I'll give you a bit of a sneak preview of that. So that's interactive training within our Arlo application. And I thought I'd show you this just to show you some simulation software, quite different than what we're looking at before with Randy. This actually steps you through the software to help you learn the functionality. So you're inside Arlo here, and you've got the side panel here of all the courses that are available. So what we're looking at here is a product called Teach Me, Walk Me. We've created a whole bunch of courses here. The first course that we're going to look at is creating venues or managing venues. And so I pull it out, and we've got different modules to this course, or different activities to this course. And I'll just jump on the first activity. So we'll click on that, and that launches a tool within the software. So it's going to give you a bit of background about venues in the system, and it's going to ask you to create a new venue. And so it's really easy for the user. They just follow the nose, as it were, and keep on clicking through. And what's also quite cool is that as you go through it, it automatically populates information in the application, so that you don't have to do a lot of thinking. You just read and click. So it's describing functionality on this venue page, giving you a bit of background, various settings on the venue page, and then, like I said, if I click on certain items, rather than having to put that information in myself, it just auto-populates. So yeah, very quick example of simulation or interactive tours for training, and certainly excited to be releasing Arlo U, like I said, very shortly. So in the next couple of weeks, you should be able to see the beta version of that. Okay, so back on the slides there, back over to you, Randy.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff, John. I'm curious if we can figure out a way to have our team utilize Arlo U. We'll have to talk through that. Yeah, really interesting. And you know, now let's talk about where this content is hosted, right? That's what eThink's specialty is. That's where the LMS comes into the picture. And the LMS can be thought of as the central learning hub for your learners. We work with 2 different learning management systems at eThink. I mentioned Moodle being the most widely used LMS in the world. We're the largest partner of Moodle in the world. It is best to be deployed by experts. I saw on the registration list quite a few Moodle users already. Let me know in the chat if you're self-hosting Moodle, because if you're doing that well, kudos on you. Self-hosting Moodle is not something that's really very easy or scalable without experts, and that's where we come in. We have clients like the Guaranteed Rate and the Peace Corps and Liberty Mutual that we run on the Moodle LMS platform. And then the second platform that we utilize is called Totara. Totara is similar to Moodle. It does have some additional functionality around, for example, organizational hierarchies, some HRIS integrations, which some clients like Vistaprint and the city of San Antonio use. And at eThink, what we do is we'll come in, we'll see what your training organization is looking to accomplish. And then we have the ability to recommend the best possible LMS for you. And I'm just going to flick through 3 different home pages of 3 different clients. And what I'd like to draw your attention to here and take away is just that each of these LMS sites is completely unique, configured really just for that specific client, branded just for them, just for their needs. This is what we do as an organization, is create a specific learning environment that's really going to work for you and your clients if you're a training organization selling your training. So, you know, as users are taking the courses, the LMS can track the varying levels of completion and award certificates or badges when that completion happens. And results from there can be posted back into Arlo for some really dynamic tracking and reporting. Here's an example of reporting in Arlo. You could see, let's see, who is it? Terry and Vincent there, right? Number 2 and 3. they've done a good job, they've completed the materials, they've consumed it all, they've watched the video, completed the assessment, whatever they were asked to do by their manager. And then Verna and Jamie there, on the other hand, looks like they need a little bit of a nudge down at the bottom. They haven't gotten into their class yet at all. And just as an FYI, progress can be tracked differently for each client. It's highly configurable. Some clients allow for unlimited attempts at assessments, or maybe you just want them to have one attempt. You live and die here, you take it one time. And passing could mean varying things as well. It could mean you get 70%, 80%, maybe you need 100%, different for every client. Now we can look at the different types of activities that are available to the learner in the LMS. Right? The LMS offers a lot of different types of activities that you could just think of as features in a course for a learner to interact with. So here's a quick list in Moodle. Now I've actually got a screenshot of the administrator's view of a Moodle course here. This is actually inside a course showing an example of the types of activities that can be added. You see here there's assignments, custom certifications, face-to-face training, like a lot of people are utilizing blended learning. So we can work with those organizations that are utilizing blended learning within the LMS. In configuring and training, at eThink, our solutions experts really spend quite a bit of time on what we call the discovery phase. We seek to learn what learning or training or selling objectives our clients have now, what they're looking to accomplish 12 months from now, 24 months from now, what their goals are, and then we show you how we've been able to complete those different types of objectives with other clients we already have. Really just to get the brain working and show you how it's possible. We'll dig into your content needs. Do you need new content? Do you need content to be created? Do you have content that you've used for face-to-face training that really needs to be spruced up? Or maybe just content that's old, right? We've all seen that old dated content that needs to be spruced up a little bit. We can help there. And then during the implementation phase, we'll mock up different examples of sites to ensure that we meet your brand guidelines and make sure that our staff, our expert trainers, provide you with some professional development, whether it's remotely or on site. The first few months of launch are really important. We work really hard with our model that's really service heavy to ensure a really smooth launch. All right, and we have courses that we provide that are taught in cohorts here. We call this eThink Academy. We're able to allow our clients, and even non-clients actually, to take these courses. It's a great collaborative learning environment. You could sign up for, it's actually through Moodle headquarters is the Educators Certification Program. You can also make the most of Moodle new features, which our clients really like. We have a lot of non-eThink clients that are running Moodle around the world that take this course as well. So it's just a quick example of some of the cohort courses that we offer. All right, we're pounding through a lot. Keep those questions coming. We really appreciate the collaboration there. Anything that we're missing you'd like us to cover, please let us know. We're happy to go into all of these things in more detail, sort of in a one-off after this session. All right, so now we get to the point where we could talk a little bit more about bespoke and custom content being created and what that process looks like. And we could discuss the differences here. To review, two types of content to consider. There's bespoke and off-the-shelf content, right? That it's unique, it's designed for what your organization is providing. And then there's canned content, which is, again, usually HR, compliance, leadership, courses that can really translate from one organization to the next. For bespoke content, our process is to have that discovery, determine what the needs are, We have a network of experts all around the world with all different skill sets at all different price points that we'll connect you with to create that content. You review it once it's created, and you're off and running. And for canned content, we work with two really great companies that provide huge libraries of content. Any topic that you need, we work with both Go1 and Open Sesame. They're both aggregators, so they take content from a lot of different content providers, bring it together in a really easy to use marketplace. It integrates with your LMS. It's a great way to get started, especially for those, as I mentioned, compliance and any course that would really translate across different organizations.
Yeah, great, thanks, Randy. So now I'll talk about the TMS, the Arlo component, and the different features. We're just going to really broadly go over those features, and like Randy said, if you've got more questions or you want a little bit more of a deeper dive into any of this, you're best to set up a session with one of us afterwards. So very high level, let's first of all look at the website component of your TMS, of your Arlo service. So with Arlo, we've built some really clever web technology that allows you to build great looking websites. No matter what your CMS, whether you're using WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, Silverstripe, whatever it might be, we've got some great technology that allows you to create really good looking websites. Not only that, but make it very easy for your developers. So some great templates and code that allow you to really get going and embed it quickly. So here's some examples. This is a university education site. We've got course calendar. All the information you see here is pulled from Arlo in the back end. The course page here for registering. E-consulting, very different site, very different look and feel. This is their catalog. Once again, they've used our technology, and it's just been able to be embedded within their site, and the designers be able to, I guess, be very creative and come up with different designs for that meet their brand and look good on the rest of their site. So here's a course. This is a course page. You can see information about the booking there, spaces remaining, discounts, and another site here, OMS, very different. So if we go into their catalog, we've got a left-hand menu there. So more of a tablet style website, but again, very easy to implement using the technology we've got. Okay, so that's the website. We've actually got out of the box website as well. Arlo website comes with a system. If you do a trial sign up, you'll be able to have a look at that as well. Okay, probably the most important part and relative to today's topic is e-commerce. So we've really focused on our shopping cart and built a really powerful shopping cart with an Arlo. What does that mean? Well, it means that you can take registrations for both e-learning courses, so the Moodle courses that we're talking about here, or face-to-face or blended. Not only can you take registrations, but you can do things like having multiple registrants on the one course and multiple courses on the one registration. What that flows through is to having one invoice, so not having to have multiple invoices to chase up for your customers. You can have a payer that's the organisation or an individual. You can nominate a order contact, someone who's actually placing a registration that's not necessarily the registrant. Again, they're the bill payer, so they get all the communication like the credit, the invoices. In the case of, say, refunds or transfers, where a credit note is created, they'll receive the credit note as well. Things like automated discounts, so early bird discounts to really encourage people to register early, and other things like promotion code discounts or special offers for members. Vouchers, you can sell vouchers and have those redeemable in the shopping cart. Yeah, so in short, a very powerful shopping cart that encourages people to, I guess, spend more when they're on your website. Other things like cross-sell, upsell opportunities. We're about to launch course bundles. So when you put a course into your shopping cart, it prompts you to upsell you to a bundle. So not just registering for one course, but potentially registering for multiple courses while you're in that checkout. Things like accepting deposits if your courses are more expensive, premium courses, then allowing your customers to pay a deposit as opposed to pay the full amount up front. Registration rules, so there's lots of functionality there. Sometimes you've got a course that's for a specific group of people. Maybe they have to have completed a previous course. So a more advanced course requires someone to do a introductory course, so you can prevent who can actually register, make sure they've got the right skill set, complete the right courses before they register. Maybe it's a members only course. Maybe it's just a private course like we were talking about before, where you only want people from a certain organisation. Anyway, you've got that functionality to really filter those people that you want at the course and allow them to register. and only them. Marketing tools in Arlo. I think this was an interested type of interest, certainly from some of the questions that we got. So being able to run campaigns is really important. So if, say, you've got varying levels of courses, like I was just mentioning before, maybe you've got a first aid level 1, first aid level 2, you're running the first aid level 2 course and you're wanting to run a campaign to all those people who have completed the first level course but haven't yet completed the second. Arlo allows you to create a campaign, build that prospect list, send it off to an email marketing tool, something like Campaign Monitor, MailChimp, and actually send out those campaigns. So like I said, this is just one of the features, the marketing features that we've got. There's lots of other ones as well. Another marketing feature is our lead generation. So when you're promoting your courses on your website, the public courses, we mentioned at the start of the presentation, a key part of this is just advertising, brand awareness. And in fact, in most of our clients, they'll also promote the private courses or the in-house courses on those public course pages. So you can see here on the left where they can inquire about running an in-house course. And when they actually complete that inquiry form, so you can see the inquiry form on the right, that'll create a lead in the back end, and that lead can then be followed up by your sales team. So yeah, most of our customers will have this feature enabled and are getting a lot of leads through their website, through their public course program. Okay, jumping into course management, I mentioned that the TMS is traditionally face-to-face courses. That's where we've certainly come from. So we really built some great systems and processes to make running a large program of face-to-face courses easily. So things like templated courses make it easy to actually create additional dates, or even import a whole schedule of courses from one spreadsheet. Essentially, everything you do in Arlo from a course management point of view is designed to make things as efficient as possible. We've got some really powerful scheduling tools there. Like I said, it's really designed to run lots of courses. So if you're trying to look for a presenter or a trainer with a certain skill set available at a certain time in a location where the course is running, we've got some really good tools there to see who's available. This little example here is demonstrating how you find a presenter. The first person, Justin, you can see that they're available, but we go a step further. We actually show the user whether the person is actually nearby, physically nearby. So they might be available, but are they running a course in a different city or a different location, so they physically can't get to that venue. So again, this is really just a deep dive into some of the functionality that we've really put thought into when it comes to running a large course program of face-to-face courses. If anyone's used Arlo, they've no doubt used the Arlo app, or the presenters have. So this app allows the presenters to be able to see the course schedule that they've got going on, and whether the courses that they're running have got sufficient numbers of attendees to actually run, so they've met their minimum number. Then when they're actually at the course, so they've got all the details of the course itself, when they're actually at the course, they can record attendance, and that'll automatically go into Arlo. So the idea there is a person turns up to the session, they record attendance, that automatically gets posted to Arlo, and by the end of that session, they'll have their feedback surveys will have been triggered to be sent to their phones, and all the attendees will be able to complete those surveys on their own phone. So yeah, focus on paperless, removing all those attendee sheets and signing bits of paper. CRM, like I mentioned, a key part of a TMS is actually being able to manage those accounts, manage those leads. So all your clients' records and relationships are stored within there, and because it's a CRM that's designed specifically for training providers, we integrate things like private courses, public courses, along with all the leads that you're capturing into that one system. So it's purposely built for a training provider, a CRM purposely built for their needs. This is just an example of a contact, Felicity. You can see on Felicity, notes, tags, tasks, all the things that you'd expect out of a good CRM, along with all the information about the course history, if they've completed a course in Moodle, all the results from that course that Randy showed us, their progress, their completion, and so forth, all coming through that database, that one central database. And that database can be extended with custom fields, so you can record all the information that you need on your records. Okay, the customer portal, so being able to allow your learners to be able to log in and see their progress, so see what courses they've completed. Maybe they're an accountant where they have to do CPD, so they have to track the CPD or professional development points. They can log in there and actually get a report on what points they've managed to achieve through the courses they've completed. Now, it's not just face-to-face courses, but of course the session's all about e-learning as well, and so you can see all your e-learning courses, and this has been pulled directly from Moodle or Totra to come through on their portal. I also mentioned a company portal, so allowing your clients to be able to log in and see the progress of their staff when you're rolling out a training program throughout the organisation. They can actually see the courses that have been delivered and the progress, and jump down and drill into more detail, see the progress of the individuals and how they're going on a specific course, and then details of the actual private courses themselves. Okay, finance and invoicing, really important when you're taking payments on your website, you're issuing invoices, that all that information flows directly into your accounting system. The finance team don't want to have to be double entry of data. They don't want to have to create invoices in the accounting system. They want it to be all seamless and automated. So Arlo spends a lot of time in terms of developing that integration. We've done a lot of work with the likes of Xero to not only pass invoices through, but also things like transfers and cancellations, making them all automated. So you raise a credit note, you reverse the charge, and all that information flows into the accounting system. In fact, all the payment information flows back into Arlo. So there's just literally no data entry when it comes to financing and managing those orders and invoices. Reporting is a key one right throughout the whole system. And what's really important is that that reporting is all coming into a central repository, which in this case is Arlo. So it's pulling all that information from the learners into Arlo, from the public courses into one location. We've got the dashboard there. If you get a chance, like I mentioned at the start there, do a trial sign up to Arlo, and you can get a real good feel for the reporting system, not only the dash, but all those sophisticated reports in the back end of it as well. So that's a recap, I guess, all the components. You've got the LMS, you've got the TMS, and you've got all the services wrapped around that, the eThink services that make it all happen and pull it all together. So we've got a little bit of a catchphrase. We like to streamline the operation, allow you to grow with all the marketing tools, which leads to transformation. Okay, so if you're joining us and you've got Arlo and you're keen to get into e-learning, so it's something maybe you're doing face-to-face courses and it's time to actually extend those into blended courses, then you not only need an LMS, so Arlo and LMS, but you also need all those support and the total solution. So eThink is a great partner there. They'll be able to take you on that journey and get you all set up with your LMS, and also provide all the services wrapped around that in terms of creating content and configuring your system. So you don't just need an LMS, you need that support as well. And if you've got an LMS, if you're say a client that's already using Totra or Moodle and you're wanting to sell it, hopefully you'll recognize that it's more than just an e-commerce solution you need a total solution. All the components, so your website, your e-commerce, your CRM, your marketing tools, finance to deliver. So not just an e-commerce plugin, you're looking at the total solution. All right, Randy, I think that wraps us up. Have we got any questions that have come through that we want to pose to myself or Randy? Johnny, is there anything there that you want to cover off? No, looks good. Randy, do you have anything you want to add to the end of the conversation?
Yeah, you know, I just want to piggyback on looking through your reporting in more detail in preparation for this conversation. Made me realize even more than I had already known how really user-friendly and incredibly attractive and really powerful that reporting is. So been really impressed there. And for the eThink clients on the phone that are providing learning already, yeah, we'll jump back on here. Maybe it's internally and you're not yet selling that content. That could be really valuable content that you have there in your LMS that's already created, that maybe you could utilize and generate some revenue by selling that through Arlo to others around the world really who could utilize that content. So keep that in mind. If you have something really robust that you've created that's really unique, you might have the opportunity to generate some revenue there. I did see one question I'll answer. John, if you want to take a look and see if there's any Arlo related. There was one about an organization who was self-hosting Moodle, and they were asking what the process is to migrate that self-hosted Moodle instance into the eThink environment. And it's really pretty straightforward. That's the easiest migration we do. We've had clients migrate from all the other players as well. But if you're already running Moodle, it's really 2 databases that need to be migrated. We usually do an upgrade on everybody that we migrate to the latest version of Moodle. We work a little bit on the UI, UX, make sure that it's a really efficient site, an attractive site. But it's really a straightforward migration. I started with eThink about 5 years ago, and I've been keeping a tally. I think 191 of our clients that have come since I started have actually migrated from another Moodle instance. So lots of experience there.
Yeah, great, Randy. Look, let's probably wrap it up at that point. If you've got some questions, like Randy said, look, jump on a webinar, schedule a webinar with or a demo with ourselves or eThink. We'd love to help you out, take you into a bit more of a deep dive into the systems, and give you a bit of an overview of how to get started. We've actually got a special offer as well, so if you do that within the next 30 days, so by the end of September, then we've got a bit of a discount going as well. So look, we'll be in touch. Someone else will probably reach out to you in the next few days, but if not, you're welcome to jump onto our websites and link in with us. And yeah, we'd love to spend some more time with you and get to know your business more and see if we can help. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Randy. Thanks for inviting us along and setting up this webinar. It's been great. So yeah, all the best.
A lot of fun. I appreciate your efforts here, John. Thank you to the audience.
Okay. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye now.